But it strikes me as kind of like one of these case studies, like maybe we look back like 30, 40 years from now, and it's like, how in the world did people not just miss Tesla, but spend billions and billions of dollars, like convinced that this was a fraud, that Elon was a fraud, that Tesla was going bankrupt, that their products sucked, there was no demand. Literally for, 2012, actually before that, 2010 to all the way probably until last year, the FUD was like just at a shrilling pitch that whole time.
It
And
was.
yeah, and yet Tesla is the big winner of the decade, just pumping out cars, innovating, just, heads down, building their product. And it's like, it's so fascinating to me that it's such a dichotomy, You have one of
Hmm.
the greatest companies in our lifetime, in destined to probably become probably the most valuable company in the world, probably. And you see it right before your eyes happening. And yet you have like this huge group of people just completely convinced that it's the opposite. That it's a doomed company. What's your take? How do you explain all this?
I don't know. I think about the quote of like, what do you believe that no one else believes? And that's really how you capture alpha. And I wrote this tweet once and I was so happy with myself. It was like in 2018. It was like,
Mm,
Dear Tesla Q, your
hmm
skepticism is my alpha. And so I
hmm
really think that like, I could rant on about Tesla and nobody gets it and nobody believes in me, but that would be like the deep down reason why I was hyped because I was like, okay, well, when every one of you are convinced, you're my smartest friend who's so
hmm
well educated and you don't even get Tesla. We are so
hmm
early. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
so on the flip side, I see the barometer of like opportunity in all that
Yeah.
misjudgment. But I don't know. I think the Wall Street complex, I really just think it was hubris, like too
hmm
confident for too long and just, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm curious, how did you get through the valley of the shadow of death to 2000, late 2018, early 2019? The company is struggling. Elon has his, struggling moments. You have, SEC coming down on Tesla. You have these like kind of, tweets going out. Um, you have, problems with production, etc. The mood around the company is like, pretty gloom. Like, what's when you look back, like, kind of what took you through that time?
Yeah. Honestly, Elon Musk and Tesla and like my friends in the Tesla community, because
Mm,
I feel like I lost friends in that time. Like people would
hmm
text me out of the blue, be like, your guy Elon is crazy. What are you doing? You're going to ruin your career, you
hmm
know? And even people who were just my friends who had nothing to do with Tesla would text me like, Elon's this, he's going to go to jail because of the fraud, da da da. Even people that were lawyers that I knew would tell me it was a fraud. He was going to, and then I'm like reading the courts. I'm like, no, to be a fraud, you have to be convicted of fraud. He hasn't been. Like, I don't know.
hmm
It's just so, and I was like running my own company, which is entirely bet on Tesla at the time, 25 years old, like, basically having no money. Like, I don't have,
hmm
I'm not that good of an investor yet because I haven't made any money. Like, so it was like probably one of the most difficult times in my life to just have this
hmm
conviction. I think it kept coming back to like, what is the future you believe in? Like when you like screw what's happening on your computer, drive down the street and look at how many cars are electric and it's none of them. And what's the future going to look like? It's all of them. Look at all the energy hitting every house that we're not collecting. Like it was just kind of the opportunity, and then the product and the customers, and like nothing else matters except if you're making customers happy and the product. And so that's where I feel like is everyone on Wall Street. I feel like nobody had driven the car. Nobody cared. It was
hmm
Wall Street. They're
hmm
getting chauffeured around. They've never even bought in a car. Jim Chanos, some billionaire, he has no idea what it's like to buy a car, and he's trying
hmm
to say he's an expert at it. They were so out of touch with actually these tech nerds who would buy it and would literally be obsessed. When I see a cult, I am
hmm
like I'm hooked because a cult like you want if you release a product and it's like meh and nobody cares, it sucks. You want love, hate. You want to drive that passion, that strong emotion. The Cybertruck. It's one of the
hmm
most successful products of all time and one of the most hated ugly products of all time. And that's just how it kind of goes.